pre-show before the free show.
Is that your pop socket?
It was.
Tepper, did you turn your mic on?
Yeah, fairly certain. No, of course I didn't. Hi, welcome into the pre-show before the pre-show. Is that your pop socket?
Yeah, one of us was getting a hard time for being late. One of us didn't turn on the microphone.
Well, that's because I was so nervous about the person who was going to be late.
Oh, I see.
You see?
It's the trickle down thing.
Yeah, exactly. This is the trickle down thing. Like every flood starts with a raindrop, you know? Hello, everybody. Welcome.
I wasn't worried at all. And it was my job to worry, actually. But we just don't do that around here.
Thanks, Pickle. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You don't. That is like flatly false.
Tepper would have not had to worry either. I went to speak to him at his desk, but he was engrossed in editing pages.
Locked in.
Like he was
I'm
locked
locked
in,
in.
so I didn't want to mess with him. Like it looked like magic was happening.
There is, I mean, I wouldn't call it magic. We just call it
editorial magic.
I would just call it reading the Stephen F. Austin preview.
I turned in some of that content, so I know there's some magic that's happening.
There is some magic going on here. We are 10 days out from sending the magazine to press. We got to figure out what we're going to do to celebrate next Friday. Are you gonna be here next Friday?
Yeah, there's a celebration, right?
Yeah, we're gonna.
I feel like I'm like out of all my roles at DCTF, I feel like being here for the celebration is like one of the most integral ones.
I would say, and Pickle, you can back me up on this,
okay.
and certainly you can nominate others for this role, but I would like to, here on Texas Football Today, nominate Greg Powers as the official party boy of Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
As long as that's not party planner,
no.
I'm cool with that because party planning is like one of my weaknesses.
Do you remember
I love planning parties.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on the party planning committee.
I love to party.
I would love to lead the party planning committee.
You're on the committee to plan parties.
Well, actually, when it comes to work stuff, China should probably do that. She's probably better at it than I am.
She's better at it, but you have more passion.
But I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a difference. But if you
hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work
Absolutely.
hard. Not that reverts
China
to
works very hard,
but
to be clear. But just like at important stuff and not
like party planning.
Yeah. All right. But do you remember the documentary series Jackass?
Yes.
Okay. You're the party boy.
An all-time great.
You're party boy. You're the guy who shows up in the jockstrap and just dances.
Okay.
That's what I think you are. You're the guy. It's like when you show up, it's a good time.
Do I give off big dancing energy?
You have danced. We have seen you dance.
I like when Powers dances.
Yeah, you're a good dancer. You're a good dancer.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I would say that you're the chief, not like the front runner for Dave Campbell's Texas Football Party Boy.
Yeah, especially when there's ice cream.
Now
or pizza.
We can do. I mean, look. Here's the thing.
Or barbecue.
So normally, when we send the magazine to press, we have two things.
Okay.
We have alcohol. Normally, I buy an expensive bottle of scotch, but there's now enough people who work here who don't like scotch that we'll also get other things. But then also we get something sweet. Now we've done ice cream in the past. There's a famous Ohio ice cream. Is that right?
Graters.
Max got Graters one year.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Last year we had the Dr. Pepper Bluebell.
And it was fine.
Still in the freezer.
Still in the freezer. There's like 3 scoops out of it, and it's fine. We'll probably.
I'm a big Bluebell guy though. Bluebell vanilla though is my jam.
Yeah.
I don't like to vary too far off of vanilla.
I want to be very clear about this. The issue was for me that particular flavor of Bluebell. Bluebell gets a thumbs up from Texas Football Today. Two thumbs up from Texas Football Today. That flavor just not our jam. But we could do. I know we've done pie in the past. We've done cake. We've got. We could figure that. We could workshop this. Party planning committee. What do you think? You're not a sweets person though.
Yeah, I don't. I solely show up for the alcohol in this portion of celebration.
Do you want to know what fits?
But if we wanted to get like chips or something, I'd eat some chips.
Do you want to know what fits? I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to throw this out there.
Okay.
This is what fits.
Here's an official idea from
Chicken Express.
Party Boy.
Second Thanksgiving.
Buddy. If I didn't,
it's right in the sweet spot. It's like far enough away.
If I didn't,
right in the middle.
You're not wrong. In fact, I think my favorite birthday of all time was I had a Thanksgiving-themed birthday party. It was a potluck, and it was awesome. It was a few years ago. It was post-COVID. It was right after COVID, because we didn't get to do. I think it was 2021. That was a really good birthday. However, counterpoint, I owe my wife taking her out to dinner on Friday night.
Okay.
And it's hard to do
heavy.
Thanksgiving and then take my wife out to dinner.
This all sounds very personal.
Oh, it's
not work-related problems. Mm-hmm. You have to deal with your wife stuff when you're home from work. Mm-hmm. If you can't eat steak
I'm
after
just
eating
white guy.
Thanksgiving, that's not my
Yeah,
issue. You know what I mean? Like,
you're taking that away
pull that off.
from the rest of us.
No, this is an excellent point, and I'm also just going to overrule you guys.
Okay.
So
pizza it is.
Pizza it is. No, I don't know. We'll come up with some. We can get like Fudgy the Whale. You know, get.
Oh, that's something I would eat. Whales.
You could have a
The
green bird
better
turkey
version of goldfish. Whales are superior to
What?
goldfish.
I've never even heard of that.
You've never had whales?
I've seen them.
I
But
don't
this
know.
is kind of like the debate of the Reese's egg versus the Reese's.
Is it okay?
Christmas
I don't
tree.
know. I'm being dead serious. This is not.
Oh,
a
no,
bit.
whales
I
are
do not know what that
superior
is.
to goldfish.
What makes them better? Just the shape of them or the flavor?
There's less dust and more salt, so they're saltier, which I like a lot.
salty.
And then
You
you
are a
don't
salty
you
person.
don't get like the dust off your fingers. Whales are so good. The
You
flavor's
are,
better.
You are very salty.
Why am I just getting absolutely wrecked right now?
You're somebody
I'm
who's
just trying to talk about my love for whales.
You're somebody who enjoys salt. Am I wrong? Thanks for joining us in the pre-show. Hit the theme expo. Yes, y'all! From the brand new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful, scenic, crime-free Louisville, Texas. It's Texas Football Today, a show that hasn't broken this desk yet. My name is Greg Tepper.
You're about to. If you keep slashing it with
Tapping
your
my
pen.
pen. My name is Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or you're listening to the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. They call her Gizmo, Miss 305. She's Ashley Pickle.
Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It is a happy Wednesday. You know why it's a happy Wednesday?
Grev.
Because Greg Powers is here, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell.
What's up?
Well, how are you, man?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. Just generally, just for the vibes. Like the vibes need an improvement this time of year, and like you are.
Oh, everybody's morale just seems so high.
Yeah, well, that's because we haven't slept, most of us. So it's like we don't have any.
Oh, I meant to say morale seems high.
Today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. It is 197 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Ray Lewis.
Is it? Happy birthday, Ray Lewis.
It's episode 1772. On today's show, folks, This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, talking all things recruiting across the Lone Star State. And back half the show, large child DJ Sanders will join us. The Bellville star defensive tackle who, is it fair to say, became a viral sensation last year?
When he stole that ball away
Yes.
from that dude and ran it for a touchdown, I think that was one of the best clips of the year.
I think he was.
It
one
was
of the,
awesome.
I think he was one of the most talked about players in Texas high school football last year.
And I think that was the second time he had that play
He did.
in the same season.
Greg Powers had the courage to stare him down and ask him the hard questions coming up here at the back half of the program. Do we first through the door, Ashley?
We sure do. It was, I gotta find my placing here. TJ Hudson, Joey Hill, jersey number 69,
Nice.
and Daniel Agnew. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us here on a Wednesday. And on a Wednesday, that means I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week
In Crootin!
Pickle's turning down the mic. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScouts. He has fine work at texasfootball.com/recruiting. And of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, I always wonder what's in those trucks, those 18-wheelers I see on the highway. I just, part of me just hopes it's just like there's a functioning Chicken Express restaurant in there, and like if you were to just stop in and knock on the back door, they'd be like, hey, can I take your order?
What about a Chicken Express party? Would you go to? Would
buddy,
you go? Like I would accept all invitations to Chicken Express.
Hard yes, sight unseen. I don't even need to know who's going, when it is. It could be on Christmas, and I'll be there.
Let's do a quick Chicken Express draft. All right, you get the first pick. Draft your pick.
Oh, like anything on the menu?
Anything. Pick your pick.
I mean, I'm gonna go with the winner. I'm just gonna go with the tendies.
You're going tendies. I'm going roll. Okay. Pickle.
Oh no, it's all so good. That's rude.
I know you're going okra here.
Oh, the okra.
The okra is so good, but you can get okra a lot of places. You know what you can't get a lot of places, and what really makes Chicken Express so good? Those corn nuggets.
Dang it!
The corn nuggets are so good. They also serve Ken's Ranch, which makes them elite.
It's a superior ranch. Chicken Express, thank you. We love you. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise, let's go to Frisco to talk about their senior wide receiver, Ryder Treadway, there at Frisco, Wakeland. He is the newest DCTF 3-star offer and now our prospect, and he's got double-digit offers. Very quietly, 10 offers for Ryder Treadway as he picked up offers from places like Toledo, Tulsa, and Princeton this week. Folks paying attention to what Ryder Treadway's got cooking for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and they have to hit the reset button a little bit on that offense because they lost, their quarterback that had been so established there for so long. Got a chance to watch these guys in 7-on-7 this last week, and Treadway definitely passes the eyeball test. He's a legit 6'3", right in that 185, 190 pound range. Very high football IQ. He's a guy who has better athleticism than I think that some schools gave him credit for right out of the gate, and that's why I think you're starting to see his offer list kind of take off. As a matter of fact, you mentioned his double-digit offer list. I think he's up to 11 offers now, so the next one will be a dozen, and it's really cool to see that there's a mix of SBS-level schools in with the Ivy League, and that speaks to his academic prowess and what he's bringing to the table off of the field. So he's the complete picture there at Frisco Wakeland, and they're going to lean on him to be the leader of that offense now that they're looking at a new quarterback. I think I saw the quarterback at 7-on-7, Jaden Maples. He looked pretty good. I bet he's happy to have a target like Treadway.
I would say that when you're working in a new quarterback, if you've got a reliable guy like this, that you feel like, all right, here's my nice warm safety blanket. I can just throw it up to Ryder Treadway and good things are going to happen. I would imagine that that's very helpful for a new quarterback.
This isn't a spoiler. It's probably like a fact. Wakeland's going to score a lot of points.
Wakeland will not be shut out in the 2024 season. You heard it here first on Texas Football Today. Let's get to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, we're going to Alvin Shadow Creek to talk about their senior cornerback, Kobe Sellers, who this week decided between three places, Texas, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M, and it's the Aggies who grabbed the commitment from Kobe Sellers, the Shadow Creek cornerback. They get the services of one of the rising stars in the college football or in the high school football ranks for the class of 2025.
Starting to stack up those DCTF 4-stars now too. Right there in that 10 through 25 range in our rankings, they now have commitments from Kobe Sellers, Jonte Newman, and Dejon Petaway. All those guys bring something special to the table on the field that makes them one of the top 25 highest rated players in the state. But what I love about what Mike Elko and the Aggies are doing is all these guys are excellent character guys off of the field. Kobe Sellers, tremendous academics, strong football pedigree, great athleticism. As a matter of fact, whenever Ja'Cory Watson got hurt last year, they called on Kobe Sellers to fill in at quarterback, and he was awesome. Like, he could throw the ball. He's a good runner, was a really good leader of that offense. Now, that being said, his future's on the defensive side of the ball in College Station, where he projects as an island cornerback, a boundary cornerback who has the size to take on the biggest and best SEC wideouts. And what I like about his game from like a technical standpoint, his hips are tremendous. I mean, you can't coach 6 foot, 6'1" and a quarterback body, but his hips are extremely flexible, which allows him to flip and stay in coverage, in tight coverage, even with the smaller, speedier receivers. And that's what I love about Kobe's game. He's one of the best pure cornerbacks in the Lone Star State.
It's a big recruiting win for Mike Elko and company, getting a guy that they feel like they can just they could throw out there probably early. I would say,
Yeah.
like, you know, he's not a project. He is a guy who will continue to improve, but like you would feel good putting him out there at an early age.
And those positions in the transfer portal were real important for Texas A&M this year. They've taken multiple guys in the secondary, but they're going to build up their depth and really start to change that program around based upon successful high school recruiting, and they are serious about the Lone Star State. I think most of their commitments, if not, I think all their commitments are pretty much from the Lone Star State in this class. So Mike Elko and his staff there are serious about recruiting Texas talent.
See on the board is big win for Texas A&M on the recruiting trail. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Get involved in the conversation at hashtag TF Today. Let's roll on to our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week, let's go to Central Texas, to Hutto, to talk about the Hippos junior running back Keelan Chavies, who is picked up an offer this week from TCU. He's already got heard from places like Baylor, Texas Tech, K-State, Houston. The next big thing for the Hippos is their outstanding running back.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be able to turn to the ground game after losing William Hammond, the guy who, and I can't even remember how many touchdowns he scored last year. But he was a Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year finalist, and deservedly so. Well, now I think that they're going to concentrate on giving the football to Chavies a whole bunch next season, and you're starting to see his recruitment take off as schools have come through during the spring evaluation process. I'm going to throw a comparison out there.
Okay.
Most Texas high school football fans and college and NFL fans will know who this is. He reminds me a lot of Ronald Jones.
Oh, yeah, when he was at McKinney North.
Very similar size, 5'11", 180. They have a similar skill set because I would say they're versatile in the fact that he's an inside-outside runner. He's got the speed to take it outside, but likes to live in the middle a whole lot. He has the strength to break tackles, but the speed to run by you. And that's why his recruitment has really started to get up into the top levels. You know, you're starting to see these P4 schools come after him. You mentioned Baylor and TCU in state, Houston, I believe. So 3 P4 offers in state. Wouldn't surprise me to see this list double by the time the end of the season rolls around.
Keelan Chavies, a name to know down there at Hutto, probably the new tip of the spear offensively for the Hippos, just a junior as well. Let's round it all out with our recruit of the week. Our recruit of the week is Mesquite Horn, big offensive tackle Lamont Rogers, who this week narrowed down to his top 8. SMU, Texas, Texas A&M, Florida State, LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. 6'7", 305 pounds is Lamont Rogers at Mesquite Horn, and one of those 8 programs is going to be very happy to have him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Lamont Rogers is a true left tackle projection for me. He's one of the top-rated guys in the entire Lone Star State, regardless of position. I think he checks in at number 15 right now in our rankings, and one of these programs are going to get extremely lucky whenever he makes his decision, because he's the guy that you can develop into a future NFL first-round pick one day. He's a tremendous basketball player at Mesquite Horn, and you can see that basketball athleticism immediately it jumps out on tape as he's able to mirror defensive ends. He's really good in pass protection. One thing that I love about Lamont Rogers' game is that he's grown so much as a player since he took his first reps there in the Horn offensive scheme. He gets better and better with each rep. Year over year, he's continued to make strides, and I think, just like kind of watching his development throughout the course of this offseason, this has been his best offseason so far. He's really hit the camp circuit hard, kind of test his mettle against some of the other top prospects throughout the entire country and in the Lone Star State especially. He's always passed those tests. So I think that Lamont Rogers is going to be a key ingredient to one of these schools' classes. And if you're asking my opinion on who to really keep a serious eye on, it seems just like with me going into and interviewing him multiple times, 3 schools I'm keeping a close watch on are Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas A&M. Now, Tennessee's remained in this picture for a long time. LSU has really come into it pretty strong, but those 3 programs have been a constant on his list, and those are the ones that I'm really watching closely as this June official visit season hits us.
Lamont Rogers, one of the highest rated players in the entire class 2025, down to 8 schools. He will pull the trigger coming up here soon. He's Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout and see his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. But don't you worry, folks. He's not going anywhere. He's chained to the desk. Thanks, Powers.
A year, I guess.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Greg Powers, can I just ask you a question just like as a friend of friend? Because, like, we're colleagues, but, like, I think we're friends, too.
All right.
Would you give somebody you love a subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football?
I have.
You heard it here first. What are you, better than Greg Powers? Get the person you love a subscription to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Get the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which has a ton of Greg Powers content in it. Mailed to you before it hits newsstands, plus a year of Dave Campbell's Texan Live, our streaming platform, with hundreds and hundreds of live Texas high school football games, including hundreds of Texas high school ball playoff games, live on your device as part of your subscription at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Prove that you're just as good as Greg Powers. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, Greg Powers sits down with one of the very best players in the class 2025, Bellville defensive tackle DJ Sanders. But first, a word from these valued partners.
I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose. Come on, get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. Bustin' loose when you wanna sing. Bustin' loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bustin' loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's
Back here on Texas Football
wing.com/Texas.
Today, Greg Tepper, Ashley Pickle, and Greg Powers. And Greg Powers, you caught up with one of the most talked about high school football players in the entire state of Texas.
The #1 defensive tackle, DJ Sanders from Bellville, helped lead his team to the state championship game last season, and they have a lot of talent returning for next year's squad.
Here's Bellville 4-star defensive tackle DJ Sanders here on Texas Football Today.
This is Greg Powers with Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and I'm joined by the big man, DJ Sanders from Bellville High School. He's the #1 rated defensive tackle in the state. DJ, you made it to the state championship game in football. You made it out here to the UIL state track meet this year, so a lot of big things are happening for you on the field and I guess off the field. I guess this is still a field, track field, throwing the shot out here for the state championship. Man, why don't you just kind of recap, give us a year in review, what it was like to experience all these cool things at Bellville.
It was pretty good, hard work, dedication, going on and off the field. Had a lot of practice before the week of shot.
Talk about that football season, man. I know that you guys fell a little bit short of your dreams of winning that state ring this year, but it had to be a memorable season. It had to be a magical season, and you got a lot of talent coming back on next year's squad. So what was it like?
It was pretty fun going to state. It's been years since Bellville with the state, so it's pretty fun doing that experience.
Talk about your year. I mean, how do you feel like you played? There were some times on tape that you were just dominating. So, just kind of put it into perspective for us. What was it like?
It was pretty fun. I feel like this was my favorite year of football because I got one more year after this, so come out with a bang.
You kind of set me up for my next question. You got one more year after this. You're going to be a senior next year. There is talent coming back, but I think that on the defensive side of the ball that you're going to be one of those leaders. How are you taking on that leadership role? What are you trying to do out there with your teammates? Are you looking forward to being that type of guy for your team?
Yes, sir. I put them forward. I'm leading them through it, and practicing with them every day, on and off the field, and working out with them.
Now that you're done with track, it's right in the middle of the spring evaluation period. I feel like you got to kind of focus on recruiting and take a look at some schools. harder look at some schools when you had the opportunity here in the spring. Do you have any visits scheduled right now? Are you going to be going to see any programs in person here soon?
Yes, sir. I got my OVs.
All right, who are you going to go see?
Baylor, Michigan, A&M in Texas.
That's 4 big schools right there, and that makes it easy for me to kind of run down the list. I'm going to start at Baylor. What is it in Waco that's special to you? I know when I talked to you back in the season, that was another school that you really liked. What do you like about Waco?
Waco, it's a fun place to be at. You know, I got my cousin, he plays there too, so.
Who's your cousin?
Richard Reese.
Okay, Richard Reese. I mean, he's had a pretty good career so far. Of course, he was the running back at Bellville before he went on to Baylor. What's he tell you about the program?
He told me good things about the program. He told me they have a great academic program, a great stadium, great people around it.
Michigan, they won the national championship, so that's pretty cool. I mean, have you ever thought about, like, Michigan would be a school that you could play for? I know when the process first started, you were probably thinking more locally, but, I mean, now you're going to go visit a big-time national school.
Yes, sir. My uncle stay there.
Okay.
So, like, he told me about the program all the time, about it.
What have you learned about Michigan going through the recruiting process? What's their pitch been to you? Why did they secure an official visit from you?
I like the program. You know, I like their locker room. I like the people around it. I like that academic.
A&M got a new coaching staff underneath the Mike Elko, and looking at their recruiting list this year, they've done a tremendous job of getting guys on the team that are great character guys as well. What have you learned about A&M underneath the direction of Mike Elko? Why are you potentially excited about that fit for you?
I have a great relationship with all the coaches there. I like their scheme on the defense.
I guess Texas. I mean, you're at Texas right now. You're competing at UIL state track meet. Why do the Longhorns stand out?
The Longhorns, I like the coaching staff. Coach Stark, I have a great relationship with him. You know, all the coaching staff.
When you sit down and try to make a decision, what are some of the things that you're looking at? Are you looking at early playing time? Are you looking at fit on the field? What's important to you?
I would say probably about fit on the field and probably the environment.
Kind of like the culture.
The culture.
Yeah. Any thoughts on when you want to try to end this thing, man? You got big visits coming up. I know you're probably not going to decide before you get a chance to look at some of these schools. So what are your thought processes in regards to making your decision?
I would say like August, September.
Gotcha. DJ Sanders, #1 rated defensive tackle in the Lone Star State, Bellville High School. Looking for that state championship ring next season, man. Good luck as you go through the recruiting process, and of course as you lead your team onto the field in 2024.
Yes, sir.
There he is, DJ Sanders, large man, joining Greg Powers, who is also like, I feel like we need to say this again. You're not a small dude.
Normal-sized dude.
You're a normal-sized dude. You're not some smallish dude who's going out there. He looks like he could just like pick you up and be like, okay, you go over here now.
The scary thing about DJ Sanders is he's still got so much upside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he is, man, with that NFL pedigree and just such a high ceiling. I think
It's crazy because you watch his tape and there's a real argument to be made that he's pretty raw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not a knock on him. He's obviously outstanding and was, you know, a rightful all-state player last year. But like, there's an argument to be made that like, there is so much more that he can do with that frame and that strength and just that pedigree. It's like, it's frightening.
raw in the sense that he has all the tools at point A, and when he gets to point B, he has a chance to be like an NFL player.
Like a special player. Anyway, we appreciate DJ Sanders hopping on with Greg Powers. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Coming up at 2 o'clock today, wherever you're watching this, Republic of Football will be live. So they'll be doing a show all about whatever they're talking about with college football. So watch that. And then after that, we are silent for the rest of the week until Saturday evening. If you want a little programming on TexanLive.com on Saturday evening, you can come watch Aaron Hardigan and Greg Tepper and Mallory Hartley from the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame ceremony. So some big names going in. Come watch the Hall of Fame with us.
Including like another outstanding defensive lineman, Corey Redding, is going in. So we will be there. We will see if tiny Mallory Hartley can interview giant Corey Redding. That will be... Okay. Who was the guy that she interviewed a couple of years ago? Maybe it was last year.
Oh, Leonard Davis.
Leonard Davis, who
That's
was like
a big
who's
dude.
like very famously big. Like he's a famous big guy. And then
Yeah.
we put Mallory Hartley out there to interview him.
It was
which
fantastic.
Really good content, I would say. So make sure you tune in. It's 6 o'clock on TexanLive.com for the 2024 Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony live from Waco. We'll have a 1-hour pregame show leading up to handing it off to Craig Way at the dais, who will take you the rest of the way through the ceremony. So make sure you check that out on TexanLive.com. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Bellville defensive tackle DJ Sanders for being our guest. For Greg Powers and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We'll talk to you Saturday at the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and then we'll talk to you Monday on Texas Football Today.